Welcome back to the Kempire channel, guys. This is our weekly recap of the Real Housewives of New York City, season 14, episode 13. Next week is the season finale, and honestly, that was the best part of this episode. I'm sorry. You know, we gave this show a fair chance, and I told you at the top, I said, okay, this is episode 1. This is episode 2. All right, I'm feeling good about what we're getting so far. I like all the ladies. Everyone's bringing something a little different. But by episode 13, I'm just like, oh, God. Are we done? And I think what could have saved them was that Anguilla trip. If the Anguilla trip was fun, that would have been the hump to kind of bring us to these last couple of episodes. But I think they lost, at least me, at the Anguilla trip. The Anguilla trip felt a little too draining. It felt like too much. It wasn't fun drama. It was just, I'm like, all right, done. But this week, this fight between Jessel and Sai is so tiring. And look, Jessel, I already said Jessel don't change. I've said this every single week. Jessel don't change. Be who you are. Don't let the fans change you. I feel like the fans have sort of changed her. I feel like the fact that people are hyping up her mediocrity has gone to her head. She's like, yes, I'm queen. I'm queen. Yeah. No, you could tell. You could tell housewives that are paying attention to housewives, social media, and things like that. She is. She's definitely paying attention. And we already know she has been, I think they were testing her out in Dallas and then they were considering her for New York. Like when Dallas fell apart, that's when she ended up coming to New York. Again, why she didn't know where Tribeca was or why Tribeca is a popping town. I think recently people were slamming her for saying, oh, I made Tribeca popular. Obviously, she's being facetious because... But anyways, we already got into the episode and we haven't done our countdown. Guys, as always, be sure to let me know where you're watching from, how you would rate this week's episode of The Real Housewives of New York City from 1 to 10. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a live chat poll. But if you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, or Twitter, let us know there. Let's get into this recap and then let's get into this episode.
Baby, won't you listen to me? I got that flavor. I know you're dying to feed. I ain't no dancer, just got some hip in my feet. Now throw your hands up. Ooh, you bring the lighter. I got the fuse. You make a fire. I'll add the fuel. Follow my lead. Just watch your shoes. Gotta turn the heat up to get this cool.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Shout out to our channel members. To become a member of the channel, head on over to TheKempire.com/join. And for everything Kempire, including our new fall merch, head on over to TheKempire.com, click the shop button, and also on the website, you can get all of our social media and our podcasts. Also, don't forget to say hello to our wonderful, fabulous King's Guards. Thank you to them for holding us down in our live chat. So let's get into this episode of The Real Housewives of New York City. If I had to rate this episode, it was okay. Could I watch it another time? No. So I'm going to give it a 6. It wasn't great. I am tired of the back and forth between Jessel and Sai, because they're not formidable opponents, for me at least. I think if Sai had someone that was formidable, then we'd probably be like, oh, this is entertaining. That's what we loved about the early years of RHONY. Ramona up against Jill. Ramona up against Bethany, or Bethany versus Luann. Like, they were formidable opponents. I feel as if Sai going against Jessel, and Jessel just like, it's not formidable. So it's not interesting. It's not entertaining. It comes across mean. And a lot of you have said that. And do I think that Sai is a mean girl? Well, based off some of the things that she said on the show and off the show, especially when someone says, girl's girl. I already told you, after watching Big Brother 24, season 24 with Taylor, I look at the term now every time I hear someone say that, and I forgot what clip it was. I saw it on Twitter. I saw this clip, and Sai was talking, and I was like, she's going to say she's a girl's girl. And of course, she said it, and I said, oh, shoot. She says, lies, the lie. I was like, oh, damn. And is she a mean girl for the way she grew up? I don't know. I'm tired of making excuses for her. But we will get to, because I see Sai is reacting on social media to people coming for her. Sai, I hope you were already warned that this Bravo universe is toxic on so many different levels. Ignore. If this is who you are, be who you are, continue. You have your people that know who you really are. Because I know she reposted a story from one of her friends that was talking about how Sai is such a great friend, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, some people in your life, there are plenty of people that you or I may know that seem like terrible people, but in their real lives, they have friends that love them and don't think that they're terrible people. Everyone. Look, there are certain people that don't like me. I always tell you guys this. There's an audience for everyone. I don't need to point out those people who there are audiences for everyone. Okay? So Sai has sort of been on this campaign on her social media. She was like, don't tell anybody. This is when she reposted her friend. Don't tell anybody, because based off of the edit, I'm supposed to be the villain. And I know people are tired of Housewives saying it's the edit. But I always tell you guys, you are watching and critiquing a edited show. If you got some of the context, if you look back at other shows and you look back at the context that's missed out, like Big Brother that I'm watching now, season 24, a lot of you said if you miss out on the live feeds, there's so much context that's edited out of the episodes, and it makes a difference. I've changed my opinion on editing from years ago, because we used to say that, oh, you can't blame editing. No. You can blame editing, because if they leave out critical parts, these editors can paint a whole new narrative of someone on this show. Do I think that Sai is Sai and can be mean and can be rude, can be abrasive, can be aggressive? Yes. But you just described every other New Yorker. Just saying. Come on. Okay. No, New Yorkers are great. I love them. I am one. Born and raised. Just saying. So Erin and Sai have a FaceTime, and Jessel and Jenna meet up, and they're simultaneously talking about what happened at this lunch. But again, and I said this at the top of the season, the fact that Erin and Sai are so invested in Jessel's sex life, it's a little weird, especially because you're not close friends. If you're close friends, I can understand. Maybe close friends talk about this stuff. Even with my close friends, I don't talk about this stuff. They'll tell me stuff because everyone tells me everything. I'm like a vault. Just saying. But I don't really talk about those things with my friends. But everyone's different. I know some girlfriends do talk like that. But they're not girlfriends. And I feel like every time they talk about Jessel's sex life, they're talking about it in sort of like this mean girl way. Have they slept together yet? It's not embracive. It's not encouraging. It's not supportive. And I know for them, they're probably thinking, yeah, we're trying to support them. We want them to make sure that they're keeping their sex lives alive. Worry about your own. Sigh. I've seen the rumors. I don't know about if those are rumors or true, because now you guys have jumped in to make new narratives about the rumors that we talked about last week about Sai allegedly sleeping with her husband when he was married to someone else. Oh, you guys have run down Reddit. You guys have run down. Sometimes y'all get a little too creative with your stories, but when I'm sitting back and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. But anyways, you can run with your narratives unless I have solid proof. Sai, I'm just going to keep looking at you with my side eye. Side eye, get it? It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. It's me. It's me. Anyways. All right, let's move on. So, well, we're not going to move on. We are going to continue to talk. So Erin and Sai are talking about her conversation with with Jessel, the lunch that she had. Jessel was 40 something minutes late. I don't understand, Jessel, unless you were underground, and even when you're underground, certain spots you can get reception. Why wouldn't you shoot a text to Sai to let her know you're running late? Or was that a producer driven thing? Don't text her. Don't let her know that you're running late. Or run late. You just never know nowadays when it comes to these reality shows what's pre-produced versus what is real. Although in real life, there are people that are just consistently late. I can't deal with that. That would be annoying. I used to have a roommate in college that was always late for everything. Everything. I was like, what is wrong with you? To me, it's so disrespectful. It's so disrespectful. I know sometimes I'm late for the lives and things like that, but y'all be strong. I'm never that late. I'm never 40 minutes late, maybe 10 minutes at the most, but I'm producing a live show. Anything can happen. So I'm making sure all the bells and whistles are working, making sure I have all of the information so that you guys will enjoy a show. Okay? And sometimes life be lifing, and I'm like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. Or I want to perfect something and I'm doing things at the last minute. But for the most part, if I'm meeting up with friends, if I'm going to an appointment, I am on time, if not early. Generally, 98% of the time. Just saying. So that would kind of annoy me already with Jessel, but I digress. So Sai says she didn't like the fact that Jessel tried to compare her uncle's alcoholism to her mom's. Look, we have to keep in mind Sai's situation with her mom passing away on that, it was like a park bench or something like that. And the years of her mother's alcoholism. And Jenna had it right. Jenna's the voice of reason. That's her mom. It's a little bit different than the uncle that you were living with for a couple of years. Yes, it's your family. And I get, that's just Jessel. Jessel is very much like Ramona in a way. She brings up things. She associates things. She's very socially awkward. Remember early in the season when Erin's relative died? I think it was her grandmother or something died. And just the interaction was just awkward. That is Jessel. She's very awkward. All right? Like her husband. They're both awkward together. We'll get back to them. So Sai said that she didn't like it. And you know what? I can't blame Sai because I'm not in Sai's position. I haven't had a mom that was alcoholic and then passed away not too long ago. Like, I can't relate to that. So I'm not going to sit here and tell Sai how to feel or not feel. Okay? So then, though, they go from talking about that to talking about Pavitt going to Vietnam for 24 hours for the miles. I mean, look, at this point, I need Pavitt to explain how that all works. Because, look, I booked a trip recently, and I think like one of the first times I've ever used miles to help take down the cost. Like, that can help a lot, y'all. Let me tell you something. And for some people, travel for free because they've mastered these sorts of things. So I'm not going to judge him. I need him to tell us his ways. I'm going to judge him for other things later, though. Just saying. Anyways. So Sai and Erin talk about that. They just, the heckling hens. Or that, wait, what did she call them? The hags or something like that. I forgot what she called them. She called them something. You remember. You'll tell us in the live chat or the comment section. Speaking of the comment section, replay crew, we haven't forgotten about you. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know how you would rate the latest episode. This is the precursor to the finale next week, how you would rate this week's episode and your thoughts on the episode. And if you missed any of our recaps of the Real Housewives of New York, be sure to check those out from the past weeks. We had a really good time. It's just this week that I'm like, I don't know about this. All right. So Jenna and Jessel are also talking about this sidebar. Does Ubah really need subtitles? I know that they gave her subtitles at one point in this episode, but when Jessel said it, I was like, she's like Ubah, she needs subtitles. And I was like, for the most part, I understand Ubah, but let me tell you something. I always have my subtitles on in general. Anyone else? Maybe it's just me. Maybe you have the subtitles on right now on this video. Just saying. All right. So, Jessel and Pavitt apparently had sex. Sai and Erin do not believe it. I don't know why they're so invested. I don't know why they care. If they had sex, if they're happy in that situation, if they had sex or did not have sex, good for them. I don't care. Look. I'm taking Sai's words. I don't care. Put it on a t-shirt, Sai. I don't care. I don't care if they had sex or not. Maybe they didn't want to have sex. Maybe they just wanted a night away from the children. That's okay too. Jenna believes, and she has a really good head around this whole situation. She believes that Jessel really wants to make Sai like her friend because Sai keeps pushing her away. And I think that might be the same thing with Erin. I think Jessel, along with this show, she wants to be friends with them. And the more that they kind of push her away or alienate her from the group, the more she wants it. So Jenna kind of feels like it's something like that. Who knows? Who knows? Who cares? I don't. You know what I care about? Ubah. Ubah always brings the fun. She always brings the laugh. Sidebar, you saw at the top of the episode, we finally got to see Bryn's apartment. We saw the outside and then we saw the inside. Someone told us, it was one of the recaps where they were saying that she's not able to film in her home because of her HOA situation. But we finally got to see it in the village. Not me walking around. Oh, Lord. That's the thing about living in New York City. You run into people that you don't want to run into. But I act like I don't see you. Just saying. I'll leave it at that. Maybe I'll talk about it on the podcast. Stay tuned. All right. So Ubah has this meeting. So we have this, I think Ubah's storyline, and I said this before, I'm going to say it again. I feel like the way that this was edited this season, Ubah felt more like a friend of, a side character to the rest of the ladies because we never really got to see her life. And we're going into the season finale next week. And that's the thing. When you film these types of shows, you just never know what the final edit's going to look like. I'm glad that Ubah was a full-time housewife just for that check. Just saying. But also, I like because if she was a friend of, we probably would see her a lot less. And I liked seeing her. I liked the energy she brought. I didn't love her Anguilla energy, but everything else was great. Light, fun energy. But we get to know a little bit more about Ubah's personal life at Swingers. We'll get back to that. But Ubah is at this restaurant, a restaurant that I've never been to before. Now, like all these restaurants I see on the show, I'm like, oh, I should go. I haven't been to Casa Cipriani. I've been to other Ciprianis, but Casa Cipriani is pretty new over there. And that's all the way down downtown. So anyways, Ubah goes to this restaurant to test out her Ubah Hot because, as you know, her Ubah Hot was featured on Oprah's Favorite Things a couple of years ago. So she wants to collaborate with these different restaurants so that they will feature her Ubah Hot. I still haven't tried it yet, but I also don't cook a lot. My cooking is very limited because I just don't necessarily have the time anymore. But I really do want to try Ubah Hot on something. I just need... We need like an Ubah Hot YouTube situation. We need you to teach us your ways, Ubah, on how you mix your things together. Like the chicken thing where he was mixing with the stuff. I was like, oh, I might want to try that. So maybe I'll do something like that. But maybe I'll go to this restaurant if they have encompassed her Ubah Hot with it. Maybe I'll try it there. That would be really cool. I like to see this business side of Ubah. I mean, we get to see a little bit of that from all of the ladies, except, a little bit from Jessel when she had that party. But other than that, we really haven't gotten a lot from Jessel in regards to that. But I thought this was a cute scene with her. She was saying how she doesn't want to get investors yet. You remember a few episodes ago, that's what they were talking about, getting investors. And I completely understand, especially as an entrepreneur, when it comes to bringing people in to be a part of your team, and especially people that are financially going to support this business. She's hesitant, understandably. So she's saying like her modeling career that we get to see at the top of the episode, her modeling in Casa Cipriani, is funding. It's the sugar mama for Ubah Hot. So eventually, and I think, there comes a time. But according to her business partner, she feels as if Ubah Hot is ready for investors. And when you bring in investors, that can really take your business to the next level. Look, I've been watching a lot of Shark Tank. I love watching Shark Tank. I need to get back into watching Shark Tank. Don't you guys love Shark Tank? It's such a great show because I feel like you can learn. You're not going to learn everything, but there are some key things that you can learn from those sharks. And like, I feel like I've learned, oh yeah, this is what having investors can do for your company. So I hope that Ubah does eventually gets investors, but I understand her hesitation. But she's out there hustling. She's hustling with her modeling career so she can fund this Ubah Hot situation. Who knows what else this Ubah Hot could turn into? It could be more than just these sauces and spices. It could be a whole thing. Just saying. And if she had investors, they could take it to the next level. Just saying, Ubah. Come on. Jenna. I came into the season, didn't really know a lot about Jenna. Getting to know Jenna this season has made me really love Jenna. I know she did a recent interview where she says she doesn't want to be known for this. And a lot of people have speculated that this might be her final season. I mean, Jenna, if you were smart, no, you are smart. Don't get me wrong. But the smart move, one and done. One and done. Of course they want you to come back. You know that. No, you're busy. You're hanging out with Usher and YG in Paris during Paris Fashion Week. Now a lot more people know who you are. One and done. Because the longer you stay on the show, it's when they get you. And I don't want them to get Jenna. No, let's not ruin the legacy of Jenna Lyons working from being the assistant to the assistant at J. Crew to becoming the head of J. Crew. Okay? So Jenna and her son, Beckett, go shopping for eyeglasses. A lot of you love Jenna's eyeglasses. I love them too. She needs her own line. I think she may have had her own line at one point or a collab or something. No, Jenna, you need to get into doing your own line. And you're the perfect model for them. I love seeing her with her son as well, because I think that might be the reason why she's not coming to BravoCon. It's probably the week she has her son. And I don't blame her. BravoCon and a week with my child, always going to pick my family, because at the end of the day, none of y'all are my family. Just saying, priorities. So, and then you could tell, she says her son is very independent and she likes that about him. But at the same time, she's like, it makes her life a little bit easier, because one week she has him, the next week she doesn't have him. And now she's flying off to Scotland and he's okay. Like, she says she really likes him, unlike her mother. Her mother didn't like her. And I was like, damn, to know that your mother didn't like you. But she says that she really likes her son. And I was like, that's really sweet. And he seems like a really nice kid. You could tell a lot about someone's parenting based off of their children. And look, I also know sometimes even when you raise children the best that you can, they turn out to be the worst. I do know that. But you could tell that she's done a good job with Beckett. Just the way he interacts with the world, how polite he is. I liked this scene. It was a cute scene. I enjoyed it. All right, let's talk about this swingers date. They went to this place called Swingers. I didn't even know that this existed, but I also don't love golf. So they go so Ubah is sort of like I don't know what wheel, but like the third wheel situation, even though it's a triple date. Not Jenna, Jessel, Sai, Erin, and their partners go out to this golfing, drinking situation. It's a lot that happens here. So Sai, as soon as she comes in, because Erin has ordered more food, and she's like, "Oh, I ate before I came." Sai says, because here's the thing: if I was on a reality show and I talk about the food, talk about eating and food the way that I talk about it here, you guys are always calling in saying, "I'm gonna let you go so you can go eat." See, now if I brought this to reality TV, and depending on how they edit it, y'all would be like, "Damn, Kev, every time you need to eat." So I'm not gonna judge Sai for wanting to eat. Just saying. So they're all hanging out, all right? First, Sai and Erin are catching up before Jessel gets there, all right? And apparently they asked their husbands to get the truth in regards to whether Pavitt and Jessel had sex. They are way too invested. But again, maybe girlfriends do this. You guys will let me know in the comment section or the live chat. Do girlfriends do this where they are having these types of conversations about other people's sex life? Just asking. Well, since I have my coldest water bottle, perfect timing. Guys, don't forget, Coldest is one of our sponsors. Be sure to check out more information at coldest.com, but don't forget to use the discount code KEMPIRE10 for 10% off of a water bottle. They have sheets, they have pillows, they have things for your pets, they have ice packs, all kinds of really cool things. But don't forget, you can get 10% off with the discount code KEMPIRE10. More information will be available in the description of this video. All right. So moving on. So this was a long scene, all right? So they want the husbands to find out what happened. We get into this very interesting conversation about Erin giving her husband, Abe, a professional. We know that they have a very healthy sex life, all right? We already know that. So Jessel and Pavitt arrive, and then a conversation about the whole Vietnam trip comes up. And apparently he has 3 tickets to Vietnam. He's already used 2 of them. But Sai is sort of like, well, didn't you tell me he was leaving next week? He's saying, no, I have to wait for the tickets to open up. I don't care. I don't care. Sai believes that Jessel was lying. I think Jessel also probably doesn't know the full details. She's probably thinking it could be next week. Who knows? Who cares? Who cares? I think the other issue that they're bringing up here is like, why is he going to Vietnam by himself? For 24 hours for just the miles? Is he screwing someone else? Is he cheating on her? I mean, I could see why someone might think that. I could see why someone might think that. But people do crazy things for miles. Why couldn't why can't Jessel do it though? Well, in all fairness, remember Jessel went on this trip to Anguilla where they were away for several days. He was holding down the fort with the nanny, I'm sure. Look, he says that, the more miles that he racks up, they can go on vacation as a family. Look, there's a whole situation on miles. I haven't mastered the whole miles situation, but there are plenty of people that are traveling for free and hotels and things like that because of their miles. We could learn a thing or two from Pavitt in regards to miles. I need to understand how he got a ticket to Vietnam but keep in mind, it's not just a ticket to Vietnam for $900. It is, wait, first of all, did he pay $900 for 1 ticket or $900 for 3 tickets? Anyways, regardless, either one, he's traveling first class. He's talking about it's the experience. And let me tell you, as someone that has recently traveled first class internationally, I got it. Here's the thing.
Lies! The lie!
Here's the thing. I wish everyone could travel first class. I feel like it's so ridiculous that first class gets certain amenities and privileges and experiences and food quality that everyone is not willing to get, that everyone doesn't get. But he says that's part of the experience. It's not really going to Vietnam. It's the first class experience. It's the lounge. It's the amenities. It's the food. And depending on the airline, look, because Delta's first class is not the same in every plane. Let me tell you. But like Virgin Atlantic first class, have you ever done that? Ooh, with the little pods? Look, Delta has that too, but it depends on the plane. And it depends on what first class. It's a bit like the Delta One suites in order to get that. I've been to Emirates, not their first class, but their business class. Their business class feels like first class. Their first class feels like an apartment. So I can understand. I'm not sure what airline he's taking. Whatever airline he's taking, it's first class internationally. I'm sure it is an experience. You could take a shower in the air. You could have big screen TVs. You're having caviar. You're having champagne. I don't like any of those things. So sometimes first class is truly wasted on me. But what I love for traveling like that is that you can just really relax. And the flight attendants are very different than the ones back there in coach. What in the hell, Jenna Lyons, is going on? No, but I get it. See, if Jenna was there, she probably would be like, oh, I get it, Pavitt. I get it. I want to know her thoughts on the whole Pavitt Vietnam flight experience and miles. Just saying. She probably would understand more than any of us. Anyway, so he tries to explain that to them, and they just don't get it or don't want to get it. I think they want the more salacious truth that maybe he has some woman in Vietnam that he has over there or another family over there. All of that is possible, but I don't believe it. I don't believe that Pavitt's cheating on Jessel. I don't believe it. I'm not really convinced. Anything's possible. Don't get me wrong. Anything is possible, but I don't know if I believe that he's cheating on Jessel. All right? And she seems fine with it. Maybe they have an open marriage. Who knows? Who knows? Who cares? Sai, for someone who doesn't care, you seem very invested. So Sai says she felt like the lunch could have been a phone call. She says she was offended that Jessel tried to compare her mother's situation to her uncle's situation. Sidebar, I forgot to mention this. I can't believe I forgot to mention this. This is why I'm glad I write down my notes. Rewind. Hold on. Look, rewind. I forgot to talk about that scene with Sai and her aunt, Sofia. They were making traditional Spanish food. And she was talking about how close her mom was to her aunt Sophia, and how Sophia, still gets very emotional about her mom and watching her mom struggle with alcoholism. So she gives her aunt Sophia this special book, and she talks about how everyone in her family is creative in some way. And her mom was an artist, and it made even more sense why her mother struggled with addiction, because a lot of creative people, sometimes when you're that creative, it really is this thin line between being a creative and some of these darker places that you end up going. She put her mom, well, David did, her husband, put her mom's artwork in a book. And I have to say, the art, like she was going through, I was like, oh my God, her mother was a fantastic artist. I was like, you should sell this. Like, I would buy that. I wonder if they actually have like some of her artwork, literally, like the originals. Her mom was phenomenal. That book alone, I would have bought. Of course, Aunt Sophia was getting really emotional about it. I got emotional watching it. I was like, that was really beautiful. And of course, Sai's a little hard on the outside, and we get why she's a little hard on the outside. But this was a really sweet moment. And I'm sure her Aunt Sophia really has been like a mom to her when her mom really couldn't be one. So I thought that I wanted to mention that. I can't believe as soon as we started talking about Sai, I was like, wait, we're at the party? No, I got to talk about the scene. So fast tracking back to Swingers. So she says that she was offended that Jessel would even make the comparison. And look, as I said before at the top of this, I'm not going to say that Sai shouldn't be offended because, yes, it's your mom who you grew up with, who you struggled with, versus Jessel, who you lived with him for a short period of time. Yes, he was your uncle, but it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. If he was an uncle that I felt that raised you like a father, maybe. But even making the comparison after you are apologizing for comparing your lives, then I can understand why she's like, okay, you just apologize for comparing your life to mine, and now you're doing it again. But I think, again, Jessel is socially awkward. She doesn't know how to navigate these conversations properly. So she talks about that, and at one point, they're going back and forth. Sai gets up and she doesn't want to talk about it anymore. At one point, Jessel refers to Erin as the parrot because Ubah has arrived with her funds. Ubah brings the light energy that we needed in the scene. Her putting her foot up on a thing. She's like, I thought this was a different swingers place. Just ready to take someone's husband. You know what? Ubah is hilarious. And she brought food. She literally brought food. I want to try it. Anyways, so David, who I really do like, and I really don't love these rumors that are going on about David because so far this season, David has really been a voice of reason. He's been really great. So he asked Ubah, he's like, you're a beautiful woman, you're independent, you're a businesswoman. He's like, but why are you single? I hate those questions. Come on. Because I get that all the time. Well, some people choose to be single, David. But apparently, Ubah might be talking to someone. At one point, she shows a picture to Sai. She's like, and then she hides it. She says she doesn't want to talk about it yet because it's fresh, it's new. Ubah, I want to see who this man is because recently, I think she was out for her birthday with this new guy. I wonder if it's the same guy. All right. So David asked those questions, and then Ubah asked the husband's question. She's like, so what, you have some fiercely independent, phenomenal women that you married. Why did you marry these women? Why them? So David says something really beautiful, that he's never met a more honest woman. David is just really good with his words, okay? Abe says something really phenomenal as well about Erin. I mean, she doesn't seem that impressed, but I really do think that Abe and Erin are perfect for each other in a lot of different ways, both sexually, both mentally. Their personalities seem to be very like the same. All right. But I can agree that Jessel's husband, Pavitt, is this kind of, they're two peas in a pod too. They're very similar, very awkward in explaining themselves. And look, I have to say, these guys just said some phenomenal things. He had a lot to follow up on. He had a lot to follow up on, but he does. And it's awkward. And basically what he says is like, she lets me do what I want to do. But you know what? That's how Sai and Erin interpreted it. Some people might interpret it, she allows me to be who I am. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm sure he also has allowed her to be the way that she is. We have seen it this season. Pavitt allows her to be the way she is. Talking about sending her kids to school for $120,000 a year. So I do think that they both give each other grace. Of course, it didn't come out that way, but both Jessel and Pavitt are two peas in a pod when it comes to explaining themselves. But they don't need to explain themselves to these people. All right. So as I said already, Ubah's dating someone. We have not seen that. Ubah, please understand. If you come back next season, we're going to have to see it all. We're going to have to see more of your personal life. We didn't really get any of Ubah's personal life this season. All right. So this final scene, guys, if you're just joining us, be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels that talk about Real Housewives, reality TV, Real Housewives of New York. But as you know, here on the channel, we don't just talk about housewives. We don't just talk about reality TV. We talk about everything in pop culture. So be sure to check out some of the things that you missed over the weekend. Sunday was a busy day. We had our Love and Marriage Huntsville recap. We had the situation from the Real Housewives of Potomac. Mia's husband is exposing her for leaving him for a richer man. We also had Quad complaining about production bringing her ex-husband on this season of Married to Medicine. So if you missed any of those stories, be sure to check that out here on the channel. And everything that you missed last week in pop culture, including Drake being lame. Anyways. So Jessel, Brynn, and Jenna meet up. Brynn is feeling better. Brynn, of course, is carrying the tea in regards to what Sai and Erin were saying about their meetup. All right. But Jessel feels like that she was good with Sai when she left Anguilla. But both Brynn and Jenna were like, you weren't really good. And why would you feel like you were good with Sai, but still feel the need that you wanted to have lunch with her? And that's why I can't really defend Jessel, because I do feel like Jessel doesn't make a lot of sense. And when she tries to defend herself against like a Sai or Erin, it's not landing for me. It's not landing for me. Do I like the way that Erin and Sai have sort of ganged up on her? No. But when she tries to explain herself, I'm just like, humana, what? Girl. So when she says that she felt like she was good with Sai when she left Anguilla, it doesn't make sense, because now you want to have a conversation with Sai about how you're not good. Do I think that Jessel's a liar? That's a stretch. That's a stretch. I know that's what Sai and all of them were trying to make it seem at the swingers restaurant, that, oh, she's a liar. She keeps lying about the whole Vietnam situation. I don't care about the Vietnam situation. I think her and Pavitt probably had their own sort of connection on that. I'm sure she probably thought maybe he was leaving that week. Who knows? Who cares? Who cares? It's not your husband. Or maybe Sai is triggered because of how you got him. So you're afraid you're gonna lose him? Allegedly. Just saying. So at one point during this conversation with Jessel, Brynn, and Jenna, Pavitt comes in and he's chiming in. And at one point he refers to Sai as being bipolar. These ladies were like, Sir, don't say that. Backtrack. You don't mean that. He meant what he said. But I also feel like Jessel and Pavitt, again, very similar. They put their foots in their mouth. They aren't able to really articulate themselves very well, in my opinion. Bryn then says that Erin said that Pavitt wasn't wearing his ring. And apparently he has never wore his ring since like the early days of their marriage. So you think that they probably would have noticed that before. And this is not new, at least for me. I've heard plenty of couples that don't wear their rings or where the husband doesn't wear the ring. Is that important to you guys? Live chat, replay crew. Is it important for your spouse to wear a ring? I don't know. I have to think about that. I'm not in a relationship. I'm not married, so I don't know. Because you do understand they come off, right? You do understand that even with it on, people will still flirt with them, right? You do understand even with it on, he will still cheat, right? I mean, I'm walking myself through this because I'm literally saying this to myself. Well, yeah, it's great to have a ring. And some people are very proud to wear their ring. I think once I get married, I'd be very proud to wear my ring. But then again, I have a lot of little jewelry stuff that I don't end up wearing just because for me, it's not really functional. Between going to the gym, being home, doing this, certain things that I'm doing. Like, I don't want to mess up the ring. So, I don't know. Maybe in the future, I wouldn't want to wear a ring. I might have one when we go out and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe I feel differently. What about you guys? Did the ring mean a thing to you? Maybe not. Maybe not. But Jessel has an explanation. She's like, he hasn't worn a ring since the beginning of our marriage. It's fine. It's something. I forgot what her explanation. I didn't care. I didn't care. You know what I care about? Next week is the finale. Next week is the finale. Thank God. And apparently, Bryn is having a party, and Sai, again, is getting angry and yelling. We don't understand what was being said. Apparently, something was set on camera. She was like, it was not set on camera. So they're breaking the fourth wall. I'm so happy that the season's over, though. I'm sure we will get a preview of the trailer of the reunion very soon. Bravo keeps dropping all kinds of trailers. What has been your favorite trailer that's dropped so far? Which one has been the best one so far? I don't know. I mean, I felt like it's hard to judge a show off of a trailer, especially the way the editing ends up. A lot of stuff ends up not on the actual episode. So we shall see. I much prefer judge the season and the episodes. And if you had to rate this season of The Real Housewives of New York City from 1 to 10, because now we're at the final episode, how would you rate it? I thought it was a solid start. The ending, not so much. So I want to give it a 7, but I think I shouldn't. I think I should give it a 6.5, maybe. I like the ladies. I like where we started, but we got to figure some stuff out. New York City is an amazing city. New York City is the 6th housewife, right? We have like 5. But even New York City's like, I don't want to be a part of this. Guys, don't forget to like this video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well that talk about similar topics. And don't forget to check out the description for our sponsor of this video, Coldest. Don't forget to use the discount code Kempire10 for 10% off of your order. Take a sip. Anyways, guys, let's get out of here with some music. I will see you all in the next video. Don't forget to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting not just me, but other channels as well. And as always, don't forget to check out our merch at thehouseofkempire.com. And for everything Kempire, head on over to TheKempire.com. Let's get out of here with some music, y'all.
Like you always do. you.